needs to be toppled. And I'm wondering, is she on her own list?
She's on that list. She should be.
Okay, guys. Well, we're at the top of the hour here. We're going to go do our Edwards Notebook. Joe's got it queued up for us. We're going to do the Edwards Notebook, run a couple commercials here. We'll come back. Ron Edwards should be joining us momentarily. So stay with us here for another hour of the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
While Christians are beheaded by Muslims and babies are murdered by misguided individuals of all stripes, the left is more concerned about cakes. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, recently Pope Francis solemnly stated that martyrs are more numerous today than they were in the first centuries of the Church. It is difficult to dispute the pontiff's claims considering the ongoing day in and day out murdering, raping, burning, crucifying, enslaving, and torturing of Christians by Muslims who claim they are right to do so because their little Quran instructs them to wipe out non-Muslims, enslave blacks, abuse women, and torture animals. Such actions continue nonstop around the world and have been perpetrated right here in America as well. But in the United States, the progressives look the other way when it comes to Muslim atrocities. However, they have been more concerned about wiping out the right of Christians who simply choose not to bake cakes for unnatural or homosexual nuptials. The hypocritical left didn't even complain when a Muslim baker in Dearbornistan, Michigan refused to bake a cake for a homosexual wedding.
What's really important is getting the picture and the writing. So it's going to be me and Benny. Well, you have pictures there.
No, on the machine you have in Kroger.
In Kroger?
Yeah.
So then, what I already knew was confirmed. The left doesn't truly give a rat's behind about the general atrocities being inflicted upon individuals, but rather their so-called concern is part of an overall political agenda that is designed to undermine the ongoing operations of Christianity and even the United States of America. To put it more succinctly, the left's homosexuality victimum campaign is not about freedom at all or liberty. In fact, it's all about delegitimizing and the annihilation of Christianity. That is why, to this day, they have exhibited more concern about forcing a cake baker to go against biblical teachings than about the daily physical onslaught of murder and mayhem against non-Muslims and even aborted babies. Our magnificent Declaration of Independence points out our unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But for progressives who claim to be in support of freedom, protection of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, for a Christian is an act of aggression against homosexuals. Yet, they still remain almost mute about the horrible physical abuse homosexuals face throughout the Muslim-dominated Middle East. But for Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, Christians in America should be prevented from observing their way of life, living according to the words of the Bible they hold sacred without discriminating against homosexuals. Cook also noted, if this is all about how we treat each other as human beings, unquote, as Cook wrote, then how can we justify a same-sex couple going to a baker or photographer we know as Christian, for whom homosexuality goes against the laws of God, and demand a cake or photography for a homosexual wedding? Can Tim Cook really believe that his focus only against Christians is tolerant, wholesome, freedom-loving human behavior? Yet, on the other hand, according to a recent World Magazine report, Mr. Cook traveled to the Middle East to try and nail down deals on behalf of Apple, where homosexual activity is outlawed and punished either through hanging, stoning, being tossed from tops of buildings, or other forms of torture. The recently signed religious protection law in Indiana was a mere reflection of the federal law passed under President Bill Clinton in 1993. Like I said earlier, the protests and angst over the religious protection law is not at all about protecting victims from inequality or maltreatment of any kind. The deafening silence over the many thousands of monthly victims of Muslim-led abuse is proof of the hypocrisy of those who say that they are so concerned about inequality. A dead victim of Muslim hatred is evidence of inequality. An individual unable to persuade someone to bake a cake that is symbolically going against their religious belief is not inequality. Wake up, my fellow Americans. The rights you lose could be your own. I'm Ron Edwards.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth. You can continue to blow away the myths with Ron Edwards on Facebook, Twitter, and theronedwards.com.
You can catch all our show archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. Since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish and get the best deal in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call Go Dish to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. Less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Good evening, America, and those listening around the world. It's time for the Conservative Syndicate with your host, John Matthews, self-ordained, politically incorrect, mad prophet of the airways. The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most knowledgeable activists and pundits today that together seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement with those seeking the truth regarding the similarities and differences between the religion of politics and the politics of religion.
Well, by getting on Larry King and telling everybody I'm a Christian and I wasn't raised in a Muslim home.
Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim majority country. I know because I am one of them. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn. But I have known Islam on 3 continents before coming to the region where it was first revealed. That experience guides my conviction.
And lest we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ.
At what point does a baby get human rights, in your view?
Well, I think that whether you're looking at it from a theological perspective or a scientific perspective, answering that question with specificity, is above my pay grade.
I've got 2 daughters, 9 years old and 6 years old. I'm going to teach them, first of all, about values and morals. But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby.
As long as we've got to fight to make sure women have access to quality, affordable health care, and as long as we've got to fight to protect a woman's right to make her own choices about her own health, I want you to know that you've also got a president who's going to be right there with you, fighting every step of the way. Thank you, Planned Parenthood. God bless you. Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
And now, your host, John Matthews.
Hey, we're back here, right here on the Conservative Syndicate, Hour 2. We're glad to have you with us tonight. Just want to remind you that you can pick up this show and any of our shows on our website tonight after we finished airing at theconservativesyndicate.net. At least this show. Every other show we've done is already there. Go to theconservativesyndicate.net and you can pick up all of our archives. You can share them, listen to them again if you missed something. Put it out there for us. We'd appreciate it, and we're glad that you chose to be with us tonight. Excuse me.
Hey, John.
Yo.
I would like to I'd like to have a new award put out today for the most idiotic college administrators award for the month of April, and that would be the Valdosta State University for saying, hey, it's okay if protesters step all over the American flag and have the woman that tried to stop it arrested for it. So right along with those guys at UC Irvine, I'm thinking that was last month. This month it's Valdosta State University. Yay! Applause.
Okay, we got to find a name for that. Listen, what do you want to call it? Let's call that the Tinfoil Hat Award or something?
Oh, well, it's even worse than that, John. We have to come up with something very, very serious because it is a highbrow kind of award, and we should really give it up because I'm sure we're going to have more of this kind of thing go on in our college system today while, we have our children and the nation's future getting that free college education from our friends in D.C.
Well, now that you bring that up, there was something I had here. Maybe I'll look for it during the course of the rest of the show here and bring it up. Something that took place out here in one of our fine institutions here. And I put it in my notes here, but I probably put it somewhere towards the bottom. I wanted to keep it, but I didn't want to. It wasn't really a priority when I put it here. But anyway, we'll see. Oh, yeah. Okay, there it is. We'll maybe I'll save this for tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay. Well,
I just saw that, and it is one of those things because it really does kind of tick me off when I see people. Yeah, she had the right to disrespect the flag, but you don't have the,
but she didn't have a right.
Don't expect everybody to accept you doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe what we should do over the course of the month is we'll have nominees, and then at the end of the month we'll pick the the dumbass of the month award or something like that. I was reading about this university out here. Which one was it here? Georgetown. They had a big thing. Everybody's upset because somebody in the school, the Libertarians and the Republicans on campus had invited Christina Hoff Sommers to come out and speak on behalf of her book, which is. What was it? Anyway, she's a conservative author or something like that, and she's one of these people that claim that all the rape that everybody talks about in the country, a lot of this stuff is overblown and stuff like that. So the students got all bent out of shape, and actually, this is funny. This is what they said: the students fear for their safety because the conservatives invited the speaker to campus, and so what's happening is the students wrote a letter to the community. They call it the community, which is the college. Dear community members. And it's called a love letter to ourselves. And they go on about how people that don't believe in rape, minimize the victims and blah, blah, blah. And we've got to take care of ourselves. We've got to take care of ourselves because these people are just out to destroy us with all their hate. That kind of thing. So we'll cover that more tomorrow. And
cool.
Then maybe what we'll do, we'll put your candidate up here because let's do it this month then.
We should start writing this down.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Well, she'll be our first.
I'm paper and pencil now.
Okay. She'll be our first nominee. Tomorrow night we'll talk about the Oberlin College Republicans. They're the ones that invited Christina Hoff Sommers, and the school has gone on a Twitter campaign and everything else to remind everybody: don't buy into what these people are saying. Don't buy into it because they're going to hurt your feelings. That's the phrase. We don't want you to get your feelings hurt when you're minimized for being a victim. Okay, that's the way this is playing out. So we'll do that, and then maybe next week we'll have another week. We'll have 3 more candidates, and then we'll pick our dumbass of the month award or something like that. We'll come up with a name between now and then. That sounds fun.
Probably get a gift card and send it to them.
Yeah. We'll give you some kind of. We'll give you we'll give you a gift card so you can buy a sandwich at Chick-fil-A. Something like that. Yes. That makes sense.